And here we go. Technical difficulties are out the gate. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Talk Spicy. I'm Coach Gene Clemens. Thank you for joining me wherever you are joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated. And if you're joining me on my YouTube channel, like, comment, make sure that you subscribe. We are working towards 2,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. So if you're not following me here on Twitter, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you do that at Gene Clemens, but definitely make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel. It's been a really interesting Olympics so far as we start to transition from swimming and gymnastics into track and field. Some things have become really evident. And the one thing is that there is always another star waiting to ascend. There's always someone that's looking to take advantage of an opening, advantage of a situation. In the case of Simone Biles, when she pulled out of the team competition, I was mixed. There were mixed thoughts because I was like, well, she just did poorly, and then she pulls out. Man, I would have loved to have seen her. I actually said on this podcast last week that I would have loved to have seen her pull out before the competition so that she could have given her teammates the opportunity to prepare. I later found out that that's not possible because of how everything is broken down and how they've kind of sent some people home, and kind of the team is the team. That's what they had there. So she had to compete in that first event. And unfortunately for her, that first event didn't go well. She pulled out. The United States then rallied and won silver medals. And they should definitely be proud of being able to win a silver medal after having someone essentially not complete a vault and not receiving those points. So that began what I consider to be the snowball effect of good, great, fantastic for U.S. women's gymnastics. Because when Simone Biles pulls out, and now Suni Lee gets an opportunity to ascend, she goes out there, puts down the four routines of her life, and now she is the Olympic all-around gold medalist. And for any of you who thought that maybe Simone Biles was mentally weak, she was pouting, whatever it is, I'm going to tell you one thing. Don't be fooled. Like, it's great, the team competition, blah, blah, blah. The gymnastics is an individual sport. That's why they have an individual all around and 4 individual apparatus competitions. It is an individual sport. When you are considered to be the GOAT, it's not because you won a team medal. There are plenty of young ladies in the United States that we can't even remember names who won team gold, but it's the ones who win the Olympic all around. Those are the people who go down in history, who are remembered forever. So for Simone Biles to miss that wasn't her pouting. That wasn't her being mentally weak. There was something legitimately wrong, and that can't be ignored. But what it did was it allowed a young lady like Suni Lee to ascend to that legendary status that we just talked about. Her name will be etched forever as the Olympic all-around gold medalist. And that's a short list. That's a short list. And if you are an American all-around gold medalist, it's exclusive company. And it comes with all of the perks that you would think that something like that came with. I heard that Suni Lee's Instagram followers went up by over 1 million when she won the all around. So that was great. And then we continue on. So now we go into the individual medals, and we have young ladies who are able to win an individual medal on the on these apparatuses who would not have had an opportunity to participate if Simone Biles participated. And so now Suni Lee gets a bronze medal in the uneven bars. Now Makayla Skinner is able to get a silver medal in the vault. Now we have today, just this morning, another one of the young ladies, and I apologize. Her name is all of a sudden eluding me now, but I will make sure I have it before we get off air. But she just won the gold medal in the floor exercise. None of these young ladies, if you add a healthy Simone Biles into that situation, none of these young ladies are winning gold. They're not even going to have a chance because, as we've said a million times, she's that good. And when you're that good, everybody else is playing for second. I've heard people say, "Oh, well, don't judge yourself by, whether you take first. Judge yourself by whether you take second, because that's how good Simone is. She doesn't count." Like, I've heard that, and I'm like, that's crazy. It's crazy to think about, but that is how good Simone Biles is. So now, Suni Lee wins the bronze medal on the uneven bars. Makayla Skinner wins the silver medal on the vault. Jade Carey, and I apologize, Jade, I know you don't know me, you'll probably never hear this, but if you do, fantastic job. Jade Carey wins the gold on the floor exercise. And then we get the nugget. See, this is the beautiful thing about sports. Then we get the nugget. We find out that Simone Biles will actually participate in the balance beam. I guess it makes sense because the balance beam is probably the place where she does the least amount of twisting, and she can probably change her routine so that her dismount doesn't have any twist in it. So it would make sense that the balance beam is where she would be able to come back if she was going to come back at all. But now we get the opportunity for the GOAT to have one more chance at a gold medal. And so now we get a chance to see Simone Biles on the beam and Suni Lee on the beam. So even after all of the oh my goshes and the tragedy and the heartbreak, we get an opportunity to see the greatest do what she does at the highest level. And that's fantastic. That's what sports do. It always allows us to bring other stars to the forefront. And that's no more apparent than in the Olympics, where there's always someone else waiting to emerge. There's always someone else waiting to take the mantle, waiting to run with the baton, if you will. So when we look at sports like the women's soccer team, who lost to Canada today, I believe, they didn't have someone step up and become that next star. There were some ladies who had some good, they had good showings, but I wouldn't say that they made themselves into a star. I think that's a lot different when you're able to make yourself into a star. That's so much different than just saying, oh, they had a good tournament. And so it's back to the drawing board for the women's soccer team before the next World Cup. I think that the one thing they have going for them is that, yes, they brought back a really veteran-laden team, but they've got a ton of talent in the tuck. And so those veterans who are probably going to say goodbye, at least maybe if not all of them, a couple of them, a few of them have probably seen their last, major international tournament competition, they're going to hand it over to a lot of young ladies who've been in the program who are able to then continue to push this U.S. dominance in women's soccer forward. The interesting thing about everything as we go back to, I want to go back to gymnastics, is that Suni Lee is actually scheduled to go to Auburn. She's going to attend Auburn this fall when she gets back. She's planning on participating in gymnastics at Auburn. And I thought about that. And before, there have been other Olympic gymnasts who have gone on to compete in college, and, that's great. But I was thinking about it for Suni Lee, and it's like, not only does she get to go and compete in college and live as a collegiate athlete, because if you've been a collegiate athlete, you know how awesome that is. She gets to do that. And because of the new NIL rules, she's already a star. So she can make money off her name, image, and likeness. She doesn't need Auburn. Everybody knows who Suni Lee is. She's a beautiful young lady. She's hella talented. And now she's going to go and most likely, unless, barring injury, most likely she's going to go and dominate in gymnastics at the collegiate level. I'm sure at some point she's going to have a viral moment. She now has over 1 million followers on Instagram. So it's a great time for someone like her. I don't know. Makayla Skinner is older. I believe she's 24. But maybe Jade Carey. I'm not sure if Jade Carey's planning on going to participate in collegiate gymnastics. But the fact that they now have an opportunity to make money off their name, image, and likeness without losing their eligibility means they can be collegiates. They don't have to go on like the gymnastics world tour in order to make money, that kind of thing. They can really take advantage of the platform that they've been able to get based off of what they've done here in the Olympics. So for Jade Carey, she's an Olympic floor gold medalist. She's a team silver medalist. That's fantastic. For Suni Lee, she has the gold in the all around. She has the silver in the team. She has the bronze in the uneven bars. And now she has an opportunity to put one more medal. She can leave with 4 medals. Like that's crazy to me. And then she can take that shine, that notoriety that she has, and she can take it over to the next level, or over to Auburn and continue to be a student athlete, but also be compensated correctly for her name, her image, and her likeness. That's an awesome thing. So great things that have come out of what we first looked at and said, oh my gosh, this is a tragedy. Oh my gosh, this is the worst thing that could happen to the U.S. gymnastics team. And the entire time, I don't want you to lose track of this, the entire time, Simone Biles has been right there front and center, cheering her teammates on. Now you got to remember, these aren't her chicks. These aren't her girls. She's 24, 25 years old. Outside of Makayla Skinner, who was in that last rotation, like the rest of those girls are like 18, which means that 4 years ago, they were 14 years old, 15 years old. And Simone Biles was, 19. They ain't really got a whole lot in common. So the fact that she's been right there with these young ladies, making sure that they feel supported as they ascend to that next level, nothing but applause from me for Simone. I don't even want to get into the whole mental health or they're not strong or they're not. No, you can miss me with that. It's been a great day. My first live broadcast to Talk Spicy. We're going to do this thing all week, kind of a test run to see how it goes. And, you know, if it's well received, we'll probably keep doing it. If not every day, definitely a couple times a week. So thank you for joining me. Rate the show, comment, agree, disagree, but whatever you do, keep it spicy. 5-star ratings are appreciated on all the places you can find the podcast. And if you're watching the replay on my YouTube channel, like, subscribe. We'll see you later. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 7. Peace.